Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, your Lord of Punishment. Say hi, Scribe.
Hi, Scribe.
Your Lord of Pennies is here as well. Say hello, Satsu.
What's up, guys?
That cute little one there. That's the sweetest. Look at her. Look at them cheeks. Make her do the noise.
What?
Make her do the
I
noise.
don't know if she's gonna do it now because she.
Do it. I am your Lord of Pain, the Ranting Monkey, and we're here to entertain you for a couple of hours. So sit back, relax, and enjoy yourselves as we tell you about how horrible the world around you is.
Yay!
Say hi, baby.
Hey.
Say hi.
Look at her waving. She's getting so big. She's almost a year, you guys. Oh, what is it, a month away?
Yep,
A
thereabouts.
month away. Scribbles, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing all right. How about you, Monkey?
Not too bad, not too bad. Satsu, how you been, man?
Good. Dealing with this crazy person.
She's so adorable, though. And them cheeks. She got them just some little cute little baby cheeks.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to stop looking at her because I can't. I'm just gonna be cheeks, little cheeks.
Jesus.
Can't help it. You see them baby cheeks, you got to kiss them.
Aw.
Can she hear me right now?
Yep.
Oh. Monkey parts, Jim Jones, video games, movies, those kind of things. Hit that like button and don't forget to share our stuff, guys, because exactly. As Aaliyah told you to.
Monkey parts.
Monkey parts.
Monkey
That's
parts.
right. Scribbles, I assume we have news today.
We do have news today. Aaliyah is adorable.
She so is. Look at that baby.
That's all the news I've got. No, I'm kidding. Well, let's take a dive into something at least somewhat comedic. Twitter accounts of Joe Biden, Barack Obama, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, and others apparently hacked.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Including Twitter tech support.
Oh,
That was
I didn't know that got hit too.
Oh, Twitter, yeah, the blue checkmark Twitter tech support account got hacked. Twitter accounts belonging to Joe Biden, Bill Gates, Elon Musk, and Apple, among other prominent handles, were compromised on Wednesday and posted tweets that appeared to promote a cryptocurrency scam. The accounts, along with those of former President Barack Obama, Kanye West, Kim Kardashian West, Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, and Mike Bloomberg, posted similar tweets soliciting donations via Bitcoin to their verified profiles on Wednesday. Quote, "Everyone is asking me to give back, and now is the time," Gates' tweet said, promising to double all payments to a Bitcoin address for the next 30 minutes. In a tweet on Wednesday, Twitter's support account said, quote, "We are aware of a security incident impacting accounts on Twitter. We are investigating and taking steps to fix it. We will update everyone shortly."
Purple Pill, thank you for the hype, Hippo.
Hypo.
The hypo.
Hypodermic? A little more than an hour after the attack began, Twitter apparently moved to prevent holders of verified accounts from tweeting. A CNN test showed non-verified accounts could still tweet. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Yes, Sweetest, you have something to say?
Like those blue check
I think
marks.
she's telling us that her account got hacked too.
Yeah, I know, blue check mark. Quote, "You may be unable to tweet or reset your password while we review and address this incident," Twitter support account said. The sheer number of prominent accounts impacted made it arguably the biggest security incident in Twitter's history. A hack like this is particularly concerning, not just because of any financial scam that can be run, but because so many world leaders use Twitter, and some, like President Donald Trump, use it to announce major policy decisions. A hack that took over an account belonging to one of those leaders could have devastating consequences.
Oh, imagine if these guys weren't just shitbag thieves.
Yeah. Last year, Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey's account was hacked, raising concerns about whether any account on the platform can truly avoid being compromised. The mechanism by which that hack occurred was fixed by Twitter after Dorsey's hack, and there's no reason to believe it is to blame here. There isn't? How do you know it was fixed? Because they told you so? Okay.
Hey, baby, I love you.
A campaign aide for Biden said Twitter locked down his account immediately. Quote, "We remain in touch with Twitter on the matter," the aide added. "We can confirm that this tweet was not sent by Bill Gates," a spokesperson for Gates told CNN Business. "This appears to be part of a larger issue that Twitter is facing. Twitter is aware and working to restore the account. Asked whether it was concerned about the president's account potentially being affected or whether it was in touch with Twitter about the issue, the White House declined to comment. The first Bitcoin wallet featured in some of the tweets only became active on Wednesday. Tim Cotton, a Bitcoin researcher, told CNN Business. In the hours immediately after the wallet's identification number was posted to Twitter, it received more than $100,000 worth of Bitcoins through hundreds of transactions.
God, how can you be that stupid?
Yeah, and the old saying remains true. There's a sucker born every minute.
Well,
Jesus Christ.
in fairness,
No.
listen. Elon Musk or Bill Gates comes out from their verified account. Both of these guys have a shit ton of money, so I can understand falling for that one.
No.
All of the other people, just like Twitter support, no.
No, I don't believe it at all. Doesn't make any sense.
I can understand the concept of somebody who has the money who are just like, all right, what do I got to lose? If it's real, awesome. If not, fuck it.
The only account that I've seen or heard that actually got hacked that I could believe it for was Mr. Beast. If you want to talk about somebody who's got a lot of money and generally just gives it away, that might be the only one I could sit on the fence and say, maybe you might think that's real. But
Bill Gates gives away a shit ton more than Mr. Beast does each year.
Yeah, but he doesn't give it away to common people every year. He gives it away to charities.
But again, this is from his verified account.
I'm just saying. Don't believe it. Free money ain't free.
That's just from Mr. Beast. Yeah,
well, there's that too.
Yeah, last I saw it was only like 50,000 had been stolen, guys. This is stolen money. Snub, thank you. If they leaked DMs, people would be on suicide watch. I bet they would.
Oh. Let's see. Well, anyway, that is currently ongoing, and there was a lot of people on Twitter who were like, "Oh my God, a day without blue check marks. What has happened?" I don't get bothered by people with blue check marks as a rule, so I don't really care. But if anybody fell for that, regardless, even if it's Bill Gates or I'm just like, no, come on. Nope, I don't buy it. But anyway, in other news, let's go from something mildly amusing to something that's absolutely horrific. Because, it's a world of contrasts. A 33-year-old tech CEO was found dismembered in a New York apartment, law enforcement source says.
Yeah.
A 33-year-old tech CEO, we just read that. The New York Police Department confirmed a man has been found dead Tuesday in an apartment in Manhattan's Lower East Side. The source identified him as tech entrepreneur Fahim Saleh, a venture capitalist and CEO of Gokada, Nigeria's motorcycle ride-hail company. A motorcycle ride-hail, so a motorcycle taxi service. Okay, interesting. Saleh was last seen in surveillance footage Monday evening getting into the elevator of his apartment building in the Lower East Side of Manhattan. A man dressed in all black, who according to police is suspected to be Saleh's assailant, is seen in the video entering the elevator with him, according to the official. The elevator in Saleh's building goes straight into the apartment units there, the source said. Once inside Saleh's apartment, the alleged assailant started to attack him, the source said. When the CEO's sister went to check in on him, she discovered Saleh's torso in an area next to the living room. Other parts of his body were stuffed into individual bags in the apartment. Police haven't yet determined a motive behind the grisly attack. The NYPD is looking into how the attacker exited the apartment building, because I'm assuming he didn't exit on camera, which would be weird. Let's see. Quote, the headlines talk about a crime we still cannot fathom, the statement said from the victim's family. Fahim is more than what you are reading. He is so much more. His brilliant and innovative mind took everyone who was part of his world on a journey, and he made sure never to leave anyone behind. There are no words or actions to provide any of us comfort except the capture of the person who exhibited nothing short of evil upon our loved one, unquote. That's crazy. Great.
I saw a New York Post article a little while ago where they're actually showing as they're bringing the bag of body parts out, because they put it all. Yeah, well, luckily it's all in a body bag.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the first I'd seen of the story, and the the one part of it, they think it's a professional hit because of how clean everything was.
How clean dismember? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
maybe.
Apparently there wasn't very much blood all over. So they like drained his ass first.
Not necessarily. If however they did it stopped his heart immediately, there wouldn't be much bleeding.
It wouldn't be spurting, but I mean, it would still pour out.
Depending on how they did it, possibly. But okay, well, so that happened.
In chat, what do you know about the Clintons, right?
Yeah. Bill Clinton once rode a motorcycle. Uh-oh. Let's see. Man in custody after Supreme Court police vehicle set on fire. An unidentified man was taken into custody Wednesday by the Supreme Court police after an unmarked court police vehicle was set ablaze, according to the Supreme Court Public Information Office. The man poured an accelerant and set fire to the car, which was parked just outside the court building. He was then taken by ambulance for treatment of his injuries. Oh, I guess he burned himself? Oh, shucks. Quote, an individual poured an accelerant on and set fire to an unmarked Supreme Court police vehicle parked on Maryland Avenue near 1st Street Northeast. The car was totally burned and an adjacent court vehicle was also damaged. The individual suffered burns in the process. He was taken into custody by Supreme Court police and was transported by ambulance for treatment of his injuries, said Kathy Arberg, the court's public information officer. The court is not in session this week after wrapping up its term last Thursday. In recent days, however, the justices have weighed in on several death penalty cases, issuing an overnight ruling earlier this week that a federal execution, the first in 17 years, could proceed. It's unclear if the justices have been working inside the building in recent months. As the nation has grappled with the coronavirus, pandemic, oral arguments, which have traditionally drawn crowds both inside and outside the court, were transferred to the airwaves. Though the building remains open for official business, it is closed to the public. There you go with that.
As you're burning police vehicle, guys, you're going to want to stick with your like Seattle ones if you don't want to get in trouble. You do this shit to the Supreme Court. Are you out of your fucking mind? That's federal crime, dumbass.
Yeah.
And they're not just going to turn a blind eye because Mayor Jenny likes you or Mayor Wheeler thinks you're swell.
Not in the presumed motivation, but it reminds me of something that happened in college. I was at a restaurant my friend worked the cashier at late at night, and this guy comes in while they're changing out the till for the shift change. Mm-hmm. And this guy comes up and he buys $20. He pays for his meal with a $20 bill. I'm like, okay. And then he leaves. And then he did it right as they were changing over the till, so they didn't notice the $20 bill was counterfeit.
Oh. And
badly counterfeit, just photocopied on either side kind of thing. And he'd done it in such a way and left it on the counter kind of thing that it was just in the confusion of the moment he got away with it. And so my friend calls the police, the local police. They come over and they take a statement. And they're like, what'd the guy look like? And, it just happened. It was one of those casual things. Very rough description. Okay. Sorry, super chat real quick.
Thank you, Sniper. Monk, you see the military dresses or dressed dudes from Eyes on Stream? Are those the Supreme Court police? No, those are I'm not sure what branch exactly they're from. They're federal police, though.
But so 15 minutes later, we're sitting there kind of the cops was already left, and I'm still hanging out with my friends. They're closing up and everything. And the guy walks back in. And he uses the change he got from the first transaction to buy some cigarettes.
Yeah.
Now, I make eye contact with my friend. We both know what's going on here. But we don't say anything. And so I sit there. And this is one of those restaurants that has the lottery sheets you can pull and get lottery tickets. Yeah. So I grab one of the tiny little pencils and one of those lottery things. And I'm sitting 2 feet from this guy on a stool at the bar as he's getting his cigarettes. And I sit there and I write down in detail everything about what he's wearing. His height, his what's on his shirt, his shoe, the whole 9 yards, like right there. He doesn't even notice. I'm just writing it all down, looking at him. And then he leaves. We call the cops. They show up. I give them the list of all the description stuff. And within about 10 minutes of that, they capture the guy, take him to jail. and he's on federal charges for counterfeiting.
Yep.
It's just like you for $20 for whatever he paid for a hamburger and a pack of cigarettes. Good job, dude.
To what Snubberth was talking about there, though, on the riot streams we've been watching, you have your regular police and you have your federal police that are out there.
Yeah.
And even the stuff where like the federal police are getting hit and stuff, they're still only being booked in the state. You start burning their vehicles or you cause real problems to them, you're going to go to real jail.
Yeah.
Because most of the rioters and stuff, there's a catch and release system going on for some fucking reason. Arson, first of all, is going to get you a bigger charge if you set somebody's car on fire. You do it to a federal vehicle, a federal police officer's vehicle. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Apparently so.
You're going away for a long, long time. And good luck with that.
Let's see. I thought I would at least add in. Strangely enough, I have a article here from The Point with Chris Cillizza, but it's not Chris Cillizza.
Before you get that, Andrew Joyner, thank you so much for the laughing pair.
Apparently, this is his. I don't know who she is. Lauren Dzezinski. I guess she's his subordinate. I don't think I've ever seen her on here before, but maybe I'm just not paying attention. But she wants us to know 2020's latest boogeyman.
Uh-oh.
Can you guys? I know you probably can't even guess, but what do you think 2020's latest boogeyman would be from The Point with Chris Cillizza?
Latest boogeyman.
Mask.
Mask. That's a good one. Yeah, no clue.
Secret Trump voters.
Oh, good God. Why would that be a boogeyman?
Well, because we're hedging our bets, Monkey, that all of the polls won't be right again. That's my guess.
That's okay.
The 2016 election clearly left an impression on Pennsylvania voters, and right now, they're apparently downright skittish. A new Monmouth poll shows presumptive Democratic nominee Joe Biden with a 13-point lead in Pennsylvania, making it yet another swing state with good polling news for the former VP. But it also seems that most Pennsylvanians are skeptical. A majority, 57%, believes there's a constituency of, quote, secret Trump voters, unquote. These people believe there are a number of so-called secret voters in their communities who support President Donald Trump, but won't tell anyone about it, as Monmouth puts it. Yeah, we've never heard of anything like that before, have we?
Well, considering what happens to those people, why the fuck would they?
Quote, the media consistently reports that Biden is in the lead, but voters remember what happened in 2016, said Monmouth's polling director, Patrick Murray. Quote, the specter of a secret Trump vote looms large in 2020, unquote. Consider Trump's shock victory in 2016. Ahead of Election Day, polling consistently showed Democrat Hillary Clinton with a single-digit lead, yet Trump won the state, albeit very, very narrowly by 0.7 percentage point. By a 0.7%. The idea of, quote, secret voters, unquote, is not entirely far-fetched. You don't say. In the aftermath of Trump's 2016 win, one study suggested, quote, that people who kept their vote a secret overwhelmingly voted for Trump. So this isn't news? One of the study's authors, Michael Slepian, explained, quote, according to the research, people were concerned that voicing their political support would create conflicts and arguments with those around them. I wonder why that might be. They also expressed concern that if they revealed who they actually voted for, their reputation would suffer. I wonder why that might be. It was this second motivation, concern for one's reputation, that made people's secret votes particularly burdensome. Burdensome for whom? When people were more concerned for their reputation, they were more likely to ruminate on the secret. In short, they felt disingenuous in their interactions with others, unquote.
Yeah, but you guys created this culture. And this is what the one thing I was talking about when I say that Democrats are professionals at working against their own narratives. Because think about it. It would be beneficial for you to know as many people who are voting for Trump as possible so you can at least have an attempt to try to flip them. But they've created a culture of fear to where if you even think about it, you even think about it and somebody notices that you might be thinking about it, then you'll be ruined. So now they have no idea. So they're running on these fake metrics, and once again, he's probably going to win.
Snubber, thank you. Is it illegal to vote secretly, though? No, it's not. Actually, that's supposed to be.
Yeah.
I'm just having trouble with the word boogeyman, or the term.
That's what, well, I guess for the Philadelphians who want Trump to lose, I suppose.
Okay, I guess for them it would be a boogeyman. I guess. Yeah, I mean, but to what you just said there, Satsu, it's amazing. They don't even want to talk to him, though. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I saw it on Twitter today. I forget what it was. It was something completely unrelated. But somebody got mad at something, and so everybody go, I'm blocking anybody who says this, and all MAGA supporters. What? Oh, okay. Good job for the discourse.
Well, it proves the old rule. It's like if you don't allow people to express themselves without inherent overwhelming fear of reprisal, they're going to keep it to themselves. It's going to go underground, so to speak, and it'll come at you in ways you don't expect. Mm-hmm. If you're talking about like political motivations and things, yeah, you'll be surprised when they make themselves known, either at the voting booth or otherwise, because you haven't allowed them to vent their thoughts or frustrations elsewise. Surprise. Now, is that going to make a big difference this year with everything else that's piled up against Trump? I don't know. But it's not something to be set aside either. And I keep being surprised over and over again about these outlets that talk about the Biden lead. And I've said it again and again. Biden lead for what reason? What has he done? It's all built on hatred of Trump. It's not built on actual action. So once we finally get to these debates, once we actually see what the proof is in the pudding by the time we get to the voting booth, I don't know. It's still, as far as I'm concerned, it's still a toss-up right now. It could go either way. So
they did finally release what is probably going to be the Democratic platform the other day.
Okay.
And it's been leaking out. So at least there's something else to see. But you're right. Up until now, up until this last week, it's just been vote blue no matter who bullshit.
Yeah.
And Faithless says it scares Democrats, and you pointed out, it's a boogeyman. This is CNN, so when they said boogeyman, I never once thought that it was like boogeyman to the left. Mm-hmm. That's always it's a right-wing boogeyman. They're just afraid of this thing that doesn't exist. So, all right, I just that's experience talking. That's all.
Yeah. Once he started reading the story, I'm like, I see where they're getting.
Yeah.
A different opinion article, the title of which I would love to hear your guys' impression, because it sort of, again, asks a abstract question. Opinion: America's secret weapon against a plummeting world population.
Latinos?
Immigration?
Sex?
That's a secret weapon.
Well, I don't know. I haven't read it yet.
Oh, but I thought
I'm just guessing. I haven't read it. I'm just guessing. Like, what could possibly fight a plummeting world population? Breeding? I don't know. The only way the United States can remain the world's most prosperous, powerful country is by embracing immigration.
I knew it.
That's the inescapable conclusion from a new study published on Tuesday in The Lancet that predicts the world's population will peak far sooner than anticipated and start shrinking before the end of this century.
Couldn't we just start fucking more?
Nope. There is, however, no guarantee that the U.S. will embrace immigration. Yeah, because immigration right now is illegal. As
all
we know.
Of it. Yes.
All immigration is illegal. We're not talking just about illegal immigration, are we? No, we're talking about immigration because we're going to conflate the two concepts again, aren't we?
Yep.
There's no guarantee that the U.S. will embrace immigration even to save itself. Domestic politics, currently inflamed by divisive nativist leaders. What?
Nativist leaders.
Nativist leaders have turned immigration into a contested topic.
Nope.
No.
Hey, author, I don't know if you know this. Illegal immigration has been a contested topic forever because it's illegal. Immigration by itself, legal immigration, rarely gets any negative review by anybody.
Ask the most anti-immigrant person. what they feel about a legal immigrant here in the U.S. And they'll be like, well, I mean, they're here legally. So I don't really have much to say about them. And then ask them what they think of illegals. And then they'll go to fuck off. But once again, they're the same thing to these people. So
here we go again.
Real quick, before you get into that, just so you guys know, I'm hearing thunder. So if I disappear, I apologize.
All right, we'll just go for 16 hours in your absence. A country that rose to historic heights of influence and prosperity by welcoming immigrants is now led by a president who has weaponized the issue with unfathomable cruelty. Lady,
Stop it.
have you been like absent for the last 3.5 years? Because this sounds like something you might as well have written 3.5 years ago.
It's nonsense.
One example. Here's an example. Okay, one example. At this moment. Okay, fill in the blank, guys. Play Trump Evil Sin Mad Lib number 1. What would you put there?
Kicking out college students.
Actually, that got reversed yesterday.
I know, but I'm not sure they know. That's why I said that one.
You got super chats.
Thank you, Zach, who says, this is the medical journal of record, folks. And Cryptic, thank you. Who called me? Immigrant.
Yeah. At this moment, hundreds of migrant families held in detention facilities face the wrenching choice of whether to let their children be released to third parties or stay together in detention. Yeah, you know why they're having to make that choice? Because they chose to enter the country illegally.
Yeah, why didn't he tell his story about somebody who came over here legally and how hard that is?
Yeah.
Well, it's so fascinating that we are to believe that Trump went across the border with a giant Trump truck, picked up a whole bunch of people so he can throw into a cage, so that way he can just have people in cages over here. We never discuss how they got here. They just fucking materialized into these buildings, and Trump was like, cage them quick. Like, that's not how that happened. They got here somehow. Are we going to discuss that?
Nope.
This awful decision comes as the result of a court order last month that called for the children's release in light of the coronavirus pandemic and is essentially a new version of the family separation policy that tore apart thousands of children from their parents earlier in the Trump administration. So you want them to stay in the places where other reporting has already said the likelihood of catching coronavirus is exceedingly high?
Send them home.
I don't know. Such heartless political measures flout America's founding principles. You mean the Constitution, of which they are in violation of by coming across the border without permission? Oh, that founding principle?
Thank you, Cryptic. It says, give them my number. I'll crap on their reality.
But are also out of step with public opinion on immigration. An overwhelming majority of Americans, 77%, according to a recent 2020 Gallup poll, say it is good for the country.
What's good for the country? Exactly?
No, you lying son of a bitch.
What's good for the country? I want to know.
You know, I hate to say this because it really shouldn't have to be said, but I think we have to distinguish between immigration and trespassing. These are two completely different things, because I mean, obviously immigration can just mean the movement of one place to another, but for the sake of this type of rhetoric, immigration is legal immigration. Trespass is illegal immigration. If we make these terms very distinct from one another, they can't easily conflate them anymore, but that's what they're going to do because
yeah, dude, tons of people immigrate here legally a year, like tons of them.
I have coworkers who have done it. I have family members who have done it.
We have an audience member who's done it.
Yeah, and I'll say it's not easy. Okay, there are a lot of hoops to jump through, and sometimes you might even say they are unfair, Byzantine, almost Kafka-esque hoops at times. However, the people that follow the rules have followed the rules, and if nothing else, it shows to their personal integrity towards the values that we put in place in this country, the principles that we have, following the rules, respecting the rule of law, respecting the country that you wish to make a home of. God forbid.
Now, if you guys notice, and we've been paying attention to this stuff for a while, the conversation ain't never about finding, or maybe I won't say never, but it's rarely about finding a better way to mainstream and get people in here a lot quicker, or presenting solutions to do so. They are only complaining about the fact that people keep illegally coming over here and we keep doing something about it. but it almost seems to me like they don't want a solution.
Now, if they were talking about, here's how we can streamline the legal immigration process, I'd be all over it because I watched from the sidelines how crazy it was.
Exactly.
So I'd be fine with that as an observer, as a citizen, but everything else is just like, sorry, you got a super chat. No, wait.
Thank you, Jesse. I wish the zombies would come to fix this world. I'm ready. While you're talking, I want to pull something up on the screen here, Scribbles.
All right.
This is the Gallup poll they're talking about.
Oh, okay.
Here's the question. On the whole, do you think immigration is a good thing or a bad thing for this country? Not illegal.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. The conflation of the word immigration to include anyone who comes across our border, no matter what the method, no matter what the cause. Yeah. And won't somebody please think of the children? You know, and I know this is going to sound hypocritical to some people, but I have nothing but empathy for children who are brought here against their will and have to suffer the consequences of their parents' actions. Whether the parents come here illegally and then live here for 20 years and have 3 kids, and then all of a sudden they're deported when they're finally caught, and then those kids are left alone. Yeah, they're the victims. They didn't ask for that. If they're minors being brought over, I'm totally in support of the DREAM Act and the idea of DACA, just not its implementation. But at the same time, if you're going to be lamenting the children's situation, you have to turn the finger on the parents or the adults who brought them here. Anyway.
Frank, thank you so much. He says they don't want solutions, just talking points.
Exactly. They're exploiting these people, and they're using whatever it is that they're going through based on the choices that they made for their own political gain. And it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah. And they're turning a whole bunch of people, like in that poll, right? Oh, they're all for immigration, but then if you try to get specific with them, oh, now suddenly they're xenophobes.
Yeah.
Right.
Right? Now they're xenophobes. Oh, I'm all for immigration, just not those illegal people from, like, oh, the people are not illegal. Like, the method by which they entered this country is. Anyway, I could go on. I'm done. And that's all the stories I had.
I did throw the link to the Gallup poll in there, guys. There's a couple of other interesting things in it. But you will notice nowhere, not one of the questions they asked was for illegal immigration. Those all the stories you got, Scribbles?
Yes.
All right, guys, it's time for MSS News. This is where you guys can send us stories. We'll take a look. Hit us up with the hashtag MSS News over on the Twitter machine. We can get to a lot more than Bill Gates can because we're not verified. Let's see. Oh. All right. This comes from Mercy of Wits. Dun, 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 dun. Special report: drug cartel narco antennas make life dangerous for Mexico's cell tower repairmen.
Okay.
That's not possible.
Why?
They don't exist.
What does exist?
There's no such thing as a cartel. It's a right-wing conspiracy. Gang.
Okay.
That's just to scare you into being a xenophobe. That's all.
Right.
Cryptic over on the Streamlabs, thank you so much. All motherfucking illegals need to be deported back to the godforsaken countries in which they came from.
Whoa!
Damn.
Wow.
What? Monkey starts talking. Somebody had something to say about that one.
Dude, we felt your rage all the way over here.
People like me did not come over here legally for these assholes to jump in front and not wait in line. Suck a fat fucking dick, you piece of shit. Thank you, Cryptic, and make sure you tell us how you really feel next time.
That's from a legal immigrant, by the way, guys.
Don't hold back, brother. Yeah, that's a legal immigrant talking. And a really good guy if you guys have never got to chat with him.
I don't know. The jokes, man. The jokes.
Oh, his jokes are awesome. Stop.
I know. I'm kidding.
You know, he gives you shit, Cryptic, but I know Scribe enough to know those are probably his favorite jokes to get told.
No, they're not, because he's stealing them from me.
He's a little punny guy. Mexico City. The young technician shut off the electricity at a cellular tower in rural Mexico to begin some routine maintenance. Within 10 minutes, he had company. 3 armed men dressed in fatigues emblazoned with the logo of a major drug cartel. Wait, they're so bold they wear their logos?
Yeah.
Team colors.
They don't exist, remember. Regardless, don't be fooled by the blatant logos that are recognizable by people. They still aren't real. It's a right-wing conspiracy. Don't buy into it.
The traffickers had a particular interest in that tower owned by Boston-based America Tower Corp., which rents space to carriers on its thousands of cell sites in Mexico. The cartel had installed its own antennas on the structure to support their two-way radios, but the contractor had unwittingly blacked out the shadowy network. The visitors let him off with a warning.
They let him off with a warning.
I was so nervous seeing them armed in front of you, you don't know how to react, the worker told Reuters, recalling the 2018 encounter. Little by little, you learn how to coexist with them, how to address them, how to make them see that you don't represent a threat.
How to pretend they are real.
Wow.
Mexico, you got problems you need to fix. I don't know if the story's in here, but did you guys see that Donald Trump and what's his name, Bill Barr? Bill Barr are going after MS-13 hard?
No.
Oh,
yeah, I saw.
You mean the not animals?
Yes, the not animals.
Gotcha.
Up to and including recommending the death penalty for one of them they caught. Froggy, thank you so much, who sends in this one. Teen reels in 700-pound bluefin tuna, off Maine coast.
Okay.
That is a giant fucking fish. I'll throw the picture, the link into here so y'all can see it if you'd like to. Off the coast of Portland, Maine, a group of teens recently reeled in the catch of a lifetime. Friends Martin something, 16 of Aspen, Griffin something, 16 of Scarborough, and Wyatt something of 17 of Auburn caught a 700-pound bluefin tuna earlier this month. The whole struggle was captured on camera. The trio took 7 hours to catch the massive fish.
Good Lord.
The thing popped out of the water and I was completely shocked. It was just enormous, said Buck Walter, who recorded the entire event. It just blew my mind when it came out of the water. It was just amazing, said one of the other kids. A seafood company in Portland bought the tuna from the teens for $2,000.
Wow.
7 hours to catch a fish? They know they sell that shit canned for like $2, right? All right.
I don't think that was the point, Monkey.
I feel like that should have been the point. It's saving time. Work harder, work smarter, not harder. I can go to Walmart, buy all the tuna they have, bring it back to my house, and still not take 7 hours.
If you walk, it might take 7 hours.
No, I can even walk there faster with my crippled ass. Now, walking home might be a bit harder because it's a lot more weight. I'd have to steal one of their carts or borrow. Prospero says, not bluefin, they don't. It's tuna. Tuna's tuna. Stop it. I dare you. I already did one from there. Yeah. Okay. Oh, well, that brings us to you know who. Oh, no.
What?
All right, we got to do this one. It's from Frosted Glass. Go sit in the corner, my friend. It's a Slate advice column.
Uh-oh.
We haven't got one of these from him in a while.
Yeah, Slate. Very fancy.
My black son sold N-word passes to his white friends. His sister thinks he made almost $1,000.
Whoa! Damn, entrepreneur of the year.
Dear Karen Feeding, 11 years ago, my husband and I started fostering a sister and brother, Taylor and Martin. Those are not their real names.
Uh-huh.
And we adopted them a year later. Our daughter was 5 and our son was an infant, but they are now 16 and 11 and are smart, kind, and mostly well-behaved children. My husband and I are white and they are black, but we've done our best to have honest, age-appropriate discussions on race, our privilege, and how messed up systemic oppression and racism in our country is. I thought we'd done an okay job until yesterday. Real quick, thank you, Cody Fry. $2,000 for 7 hours for a 7-hour workday sounds like a pretty good deal to me, cripple. It's divided by 3, homie. Taylor asked us after dinner if she could talk to us in private and showed us a screenshot of Friend at Center. Apparently, Mark Martin has been selling N-word passes to kids at his middle school for $25 to $50.
Wow.
Thank you, Gamer Valine. They vastly underpaid those kids. A sushi restaurant would pay tens of thousands for that much tuna. Probably, depending on which one. It's been going on for weeks, and he had offered it to Taylor's friend's sister, who screenshotted it and sent it to Taylor. They go to diverse schools for our area, but there's still a lot of white/non-black kids there. Taylor told us the kids have been sending Martin money via Venmo, and she thinks he's made almost $1,000. My husband and I are shocked and angry, and we don't know what to do. Get that kid a fucking... get him ready for Harvard, man.
I wonder if they're more shocked and angry at the kids who bought it or more shocked and angry at their kid.
Martin's action must have made his fellow black classmates upset and uncomfortable. They were probably laughing their asses off.
Oh, trust me. They were like, dude, that's smart as fuck. Why I ain't think of that shit?
Right? Upset and uncomfortable, and I feel like a horrible mother in person. Well, I thought we did a good... No. Okay, hang on. Let me finish. I thought we did a good job, but we must have done something wrong. We need to give him consequences, but I don't know how extreme to go. Right now, I'm leaning towards taking away device privileges for a long, long time and confiscating the money. What else can or should we do? How do we confront him about this and apologize and tell other parents? Okay. You built this. You taught him how the worth of being able to say that word. That there was a monetary value on it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Atheist Icon. Tuna in a can is not tuna. It's albacore. Close your lion mouth. How dare you?
Oh, talk all fancy.
It's tuna, and that's what it'll always be. It says it right on the can. I don't think that the other black kids in the school are like, oh my God, he's just so destroyed everything we've worked for.
They're laughing.
They're laughing.
Yeah, they love it. I think, why didn't I do that?
They're laughing at the dumbass kids who were paying for this.
Mm-hmm. And then either that or they're upset that they didn't think of it first.
I think it's probably a combination of the two. Because if they were really upset, somebody would have knocked him out already.
Yeah. There's no way he would have made that much money.
Because even in this case, the only way that he got knocked out is it was one of his sister's friend's little sisters. Thank you, Snubber. He's doing what y'all did already, race hustling, right? He's just actually making money. Monkey, you missed a super chat. Oh, did I? What did I miss? I'm not seeing one I missed here. Help me out. Which one did I?
I don't know.
Thank you, Cody Fry. $600 a head is still worth more than your average 7-hour workday. Not for Kanye. And Miss Slim One, thank you. That kid is business minded. That little genius. I know. You guys need to take that money from him. Put that in a college fund to send his ass to business school. With a heavy emphasis on ethics, though.
Right.
Because you don't want his ass to end up in prison on a white-collar crime either.
White collar.
Damn it. That's not what I was doing.
That's what you said.
Let's see. This is the answer. Well, I certainly understand why you are embarrassed and disappointed. It's difficult to prevent kids from using inappropriate language in general. And it's not surprising that a black child would feel a sense of ownership and or entitlement to use the word as he sees fit, in spite of what his parents say. Did they specifically tell him never to sell a N-word pass? I'm doubting they even had that conversation.
Yeah. It was the only thing they ever told him. The one thing. They had no rules. That was the only one for him going to school.
There's also something hilarious and brilliant, if also naive and short-sighted, about him getting paid for something that was going to happen anyway.
Oh, come on. Look, here's the thing. If it was going to happen anyway, why the fuck would they take the time to pay for it? Like, what? Why would you spend the money to pay for it if you were going to say it anyway? That narrative does not make sense contextually if we're talking about this story. Now, if the story was he tried to but made no money because they said "fuck you" N-word,
Oh,
yeah, then they'd be like, well, we don't need to pay you. We'll just say it. But that's not the story. The story is he made a significant amount of money so people could say it. So clearly, that's not the case.
Well, it's funny you say that. This is the next part. What Martin must understand is that while some of his classmates may have played along, none of them who purchased his passes were actually waiting for anyone's permission to say, are you allowed to do that? This says N-GGA. Shouldn't that say N-word?
oh, why? I don't know.
Because at that point, I mean, you might as well have spelled it all out.
So they weren't waiting for his permission. They were just so racist that they had to give this black dude money.
I'm guessing.
Like, really?
Exactly.
How fucking stupid do you sound right now?
Hopefully there's a black adult in Martin's life, a godparent, a neighbor, etc., whom he is close enough that they can help you with this conversation.
Oh, jeez.
It sounds like Martin needs a reminder as to how N-AS are treated. Oh, they dropped the G's in that one. In our society, and why he has very little to gain and a lot to lose from cheapening his people's experience to make a quick buck.
Oh,
Now,
you might
let
want,
me-
you might want to talk to certain public speakers that I look at on a regular basis on that one then.
About to say, you mean like the majority of black activists?
I can think of maybe 3 black parents I knew growing up that would have beat this kid's ass over it. Most of the others would have done just like I did, like, dude, don't do that again. But enjoy what you made. They dumb enough to give you money for that? That's on them. He ain't doing nothing wrong.
Yeah, this whoever wrote this is full of shit.
This is some stupid shit. I just love how heartbroken I can't believe he would do this after we pushed all this racial shit on him. He's 11 years old.
Oh, damn, I didn't even know that.
Oh, wow. I thought it was like in high school or something.
Yeah, holy fuck.
No. The sister's older. She's 16 and he's 11.
Holy shit.
Wow. Okay.
You need to get that kid a lemonade stand, man. Get him some kind of business. He's smart. That's a smart kid. Again, maybe some ethics, but yeah, 5 minutes. That's an 11-year-old fucking with his friends. Good on him. And why do those kids have that much? At 11, did you have $50 you could give somebody for an N-word pass?
Depends on the part of town you lived in, I guess.
I didn't have $50 to give somebody for a Nintendo.
I knew kids, well, I mean, I guess it'd probably be more today, but I knew kids who were getting allowances of at most of that. Yeah.
Man, lunch must have been expensive in that motherfucker.
Oh, shit. Yeah, because that's how we paid for shit. You kept your lunch money.
Oh, maybe they're all Twitch streamers.
Crappy Fisherman, thank you. Possibly big news coming out of the Redskins. Coaches and owners hosting sex and drug parties, pimping out cheerleaders, nude photos, very big if true.
What?
We'll have to keep an eye on that. And thank you for the donation. Zach, thank you for the donation. Who says the parents need strapped to a chair, Clockwork Orange style, and forced to binge all of Boondocks.
Right.
What did you? We've talked to him about our privilege. Like, shut the fuck up. You want to know why he did that? Because you put the idea in his head, and he's a smart young man who went, I bet I could get these dumbasses to pay me for this.
Yeah, he took it. Not only did he take advantage of what his parents told him, he took advantage of what those other kids have been told about what they owe in the world, or what they are.
I mean, it's not necessarily the most appropriate thing, but I don't fuck it.
Yeah,
I want to buy that kid a beer when he's older. Sanguine, thank you. So even in the writer's mind, the kid would just be saying the N-word with an A, not an R. Also, can people stop giving single words the power to destroy them? I mean, seriously, people need to stop being a different F word about words. I appreciate the donation, but I'm not saying those words because I'd like to keep my channel, and YouTube has been cracking down. I appreciate the donation though. You want to talk off stream? We can talk. Gamer Bleen, thank you. Time out. Scribe. Not all of us make money on Twitch.
Yeah, like me.
I told you, show your boobs. You'll make more money. Frank, thank you so much. We made sure he knew he was oppressed, right? Right? Make him buy you a beer, monkey. You know, that's probably a better idea. He's probably got more money than I do.
Yeah. Judging from how people nowadays, talk to their kids and teach them about racism or whatever, there's no way he would have ever gotten that thought in his head if he hadn't been, taught in that mindset. You know what I mean?
Wasn't there a story about somebody doing this a while back? Or people giving out the passes? He probably saw something like that one. I bet I could sell him. Seriously, this kid's smart. Redirect that into something positive, and this kid will go a long way. And stop fucking wringing your hands about him being a smart 11-year-old, you jackasses. He did this at 11. That's just, damn. Keep an eye on this kid. We're going to read about him in the future. Snubber, thank you. The black kids were the ones that taught us the alternative term for ding dong ditch, N-word knocking. Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, I know what you're talking about there. Massive Dynamics sends in this one. Florida man crashes into church, sets it on fire with parishioners inside, sheriff said.
Yikes.
Yeah. A Florida man was arrested Saturday after plowing his vehicle into a Catholic church and then setting the building on fire as parishioners were inside preparing for Mass, according to officials. The Marion County Sheriff's Office said Steve Anthony Shields, 24, crashed his van through the front door of the Queen of Peace Catholic Church in Ocala, around 7:30. He got out, poured gasoline in the foyer.
Oh, whatever.
And set it on fire. Look, once I tripped on it, there was no getting it back.
There's a joke somewhere there, but okay. I was going to say staircase. What?
Corey, thank you so much. Satsu, how much for a pass?
We're starting at 200.
You gonna put that on the merch store? You just have like a little card, a little membership card.
That probably won't get through the security on the.
Oh, you find some novel way to title it that doesn't say it directly.
Remember, just because you buy a pass doesn't mean you can use it still.
Look, I'm starting at 200 because that 11-year-old kid started from 25 to 50, and kids could afford it. Don't fucking with me.
Yeah. Let's see. Shields then drove off, but was spotted by deputy. I've never seen that spelling. Josue. Josu. Hosu.
Sure.
Gonzalez, who stopped the vehicle by hitting it with his patrol car.
His name is Jose.
Officer said What's that?
Josue.
Josue?
Josue.
Don't fuck with me. I can barely read anyway. Officials said parishioners were not injured. The Marion County Fire Department was able to quickly douse the flames. Still did some damage, man. But yeah, I read about that story the other day, and they still hadn't caught him yet. So I'm glad to see they caught his ass, and good luck in prison, jackass. There's the story. There's more to it, but it's it goes over the same stuff. But there's pictures of what the damage that was done. Burned up the floor, some of the walls a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah. Drove his van in, got out, poured gas on the floor. How much do you hate Jesus, man? Let's see. We read that one yesterday. Check Your Logic sent in the one about Angela Davis likes Joe Biden.
Oh, yeah.
Because he can be pressured.
Yes, pressured. He can be a puppet.
Oh, no. Lisa sends in this one. The title alone, why can't my famous gender non-conforming friends get laid?
Ah.
Okie Native, thank you. If you have time to watch YouTube, you have $200 to give Satsu for an N-word pass, right? There you go.
I'm just saying.
Jacob Tobia and Alak Vade Menon are femme non-binary icons. But that won't help, or that won't get them dates And the reason why speaks volumes about our discomfort with those who exist between genders. Because we want to know what we're using. Okay. If there's no obvious signs, and you go out on a date with a, and I'm using air quotes, gender non-conforming person, and you go to get naked, isn't that kind of like getting one of those Kinder eggs? You don't know what the fuck's going to be in the box.
Oh, no.
But that's the problem. You shouldn't care what's in the box.
But I do. I care a lot. It needs to be a box and not a stick. Oh, where are we at here? It's a cool Saturday night in my East Village apartment. They need to just nuke the East Village. There's a lot of stupid that comes out of there. And Alak Vade Menin has just created a Tinder account for me while Jacob Tobia bats their eyelashes in the background.
The what?
I read that perfectly.
Yeah, okay.
I did. It's just they're trying to be non-conforming and all that crap.
Right.
Alak and Jacob are two of the most publicly visible gender non-conforming femmes I know. As a performance poet. Oh, God. Is that a job?
If people pay for it, sure.
A gender or a performance poet. Alak has just gone solo after touring in dozens of cities in the U.S. and abroad as one half of the poetry duo Dark Matter. Jacob was named to 2016's Out 100, has made a web series for NBC, and been the subject of a GLAAD-nominated episode of MTV's True Life. Both are trans-identified, but belong somewhere in between genders, and they've amassed a huge social media following as gender non-binary.
Okay.
They've become celebrities in their own right, with Jacob regularly working down the red carpet at LGBTQ galas, and Alak featuring in the Janet Mock narrated HBO documentary, The Trans List. But if you think all that would land them a date, you'd be wrong. And nobody's more puzzled than me as to why such obvious catches are having dating problems and so many clamor for their attention. Real quick. Thank you, Mishishu. Blair White did a video on this today. Oh, cool. I'll have to check it out later.
I got a question.
Please.
Why is this person not dating either one of them?
I don't know. It's a good question.
Yeah. What's stopping you from doing it? It's like, why won't anybody fuck my friends I won't fuck?
It is a reliable source of Inui, E-N-N-U-I.
Yeah, you got it, basically. It's okay.
Okay, real quick, over on the Streamlabs. Thank you, Sanguine. More like Russian roulette, monkey. You don't know which of you is going to end up splattered. True. Oh, and Zach Osborne, I missed this one. Thank you. Los Angeles police, 12 white female bodies in garage freezer tag Black Lives Matter. Article retweeted under the hashtag. Wow. Damn.
So, not just as a correction, it's pronounced ennui, and its synonyms would be something like melancholy or depression, that kind of thing.
It's a reliable source of ennui in our group chats. And as the elder among my non-binary pals, I've been giving Jacob and Alak dating advice for weeks. Trans dating is tricky because you have to deal with prejudice on top of all the usual insecurities about wanting to be as attractive as possible for a potential mate. It's almost like people want to know what genitals are there and they'd like you to be attractive. Huh. If only there was science on this. Dating among non-binary femmes is even trickier, as the vast majority of people, even queer ones, imagine themselves as dating men or women exclusively, so non-binary folks can complicate how others view one's sexuality. I've seen Alak and Jacob wade through crushes and ambiguous interactions, live text flirtation lines to help them reel those crushes in, and coach them to project some kind of confidence so the cuties would come back for more. I'm partnered and not really looking, but since my relationship isn't exclusive, Alak and Jacob convinced me to open a Tinder account so I could demonstrate in real life the maneuvers I'd been touting. I intended to show them things something I've learned over time, that if you treat being trans like it's a source of shame, then that's how your date will feel too. My whole game is predicated on projecting the most desirable self and not treating my transness as an obstacle. Instead, what I learned during the social experiment that followed is that Jacob and Alak, like Mendy, gender non-conforming femmes, live in a world where admirers applaud them for their radical politics on social media, and people they're attracted to associate with them because of their slay-worthiness and social capital, but refuse to make love to them or at least fuck them well.
Slay-worthiness. Wow.
Slay-worthiness.
I'm an old man. What can I tell you?
Snubber, thank you. Tell them they have to date 300-pound neckbeards if they identify as non-binary. Well, I mean, we've been over this so many times. Look, when people go on a date, typically, they have a gender in mind. If you're a male, typically you want a female. If you're a gay male, typically you want a male. Same with females. If you're a female, typically you want a man. If you're a gay female, you want a woman. It's that simple.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And they're just like, they're even saying that people that fall within the group that they are referring to at the moment, even they have difficulty with this concept. And it's just like, what do you expect to happen? I don't know.
They expect everybody to just fall over and give them the sex because I'm just like you. Oh, dear God.
Oh, boy.
I looked up one of them.
Uh-huh.
All right. I'm going to throw it into... Yeah. Why can't you get laid? Oh, my God. All right. Jesus.
Monkey has cracked the case.
Good God damn. Ladies and gentlemen, that's going to wrap up MSS News. If we have time, maybe we'll jump back, but we usually don't. Jump onto YouTube time. Satsu, what you been doing?
Oh, sweet Jesus.
Right?
Oof.
Now I got to look up the other one.
Fuck, that just, I'm sorry. I just edited some videos, man. That's all I did today. Nothing special. Just edited some videos.
Monkey, that needs a warning. Hey, you heard my response, didn't you? The other one I don't see a picture for, which is probably a good thing. Scribbles, what you been working on?
I did a TEDx today.
Oh, damn. Scribe did a TEDx today, and I didn't mean to interrupt him there. Here's the other one. Go ahead, Scribe. I'm sorry. You did a TEDx today?
Am I safe to speak now?
Yeah, I'm not looking anything else up because I that's 2 for 2.
So the TEDx today was the ACLU's call to defund police. And it was given by the executive director of the ACLU, who spent the first half of this 9-minute talk lamenting how terrible the world is and how much white people need to work to take police out of communities of color for their own good. And then hearkening back to all the good things the ACLU did from 1931 to 1965, and him passingly taking credit for it. And then making absolutely no sense in any kind of argumentation as to how he would defund the police or what would be there to replace it. Even though he says defund the police, which we know to mean take all of their money away, but then he says, except for the most severe of crimes. And I'm like, oh, well, how many police do you need to cover the most severe of crimes? It was a very bizarre little talk. I had hoped for something a little bit more informed, but it is what it is. And yeah, and I hope to do another TEDx tomorrow. I may have a tandem speaker. I will let you guys know. And that's all I got.
I missed Andrew Joyner's super chat a moment ago. Said these guys can't even be bothered to shave, and they want to be seen as ladies. Wait, so you said they said we still need crime or police for the most serious crimes?
Yes.
But they don't give like any kind of indication of how many?
No, I mean, he on the one hand, he says the police need to be defunded. We need to take away all their money. We need to ensure that we have to take away all their paramilitary toys. And we need to make sure that they can't police people for things that don't need policing, except for the most serious of crimes. And I was like, well, what? It was the most, I mean, of all the things he could have said at that point, I mean, it was nonsense to begin with, but then to completely bamboozle and contradict himself within 10 seconds. Like, well, okay, let's say you, if you said, we are going to decriminalize everything from third-degree misdemeanors down, okay? If you said that in order to alleviate the amount of policing we have and the amount of incarceration we end up with, we're just going to decriminalize. I mean, it's insane, but if he at least had that plan, I could say, okay, that's an interesting idea, I guess. But he didn't say that. He said defund the police, get them out of communities of color, and then make sure they can't police anybody except for the most serious crimes. And I'm like, so you don't want them in certain communities on the basis of their skin color at all, but you do want them around for the most serious of crimes.
Which obviously people of that skin color never, ever commit. So
well, and of course it never happens in any community, quote unquote, jurisdiction, zip code, or otherwise that you would classify as being over-policed. So, I mean, again, it was just absolute balderdash, this guy. And he's the executive director of the ACLU. And it was just... And there was that one square on the bingo card, should not be in the position or occupation he's in. And I'm like, well, unfortunately, he is the director of the ACLU as it is currently formed. So he's perfect for that job.
Nice. Real quick, Sanguine, thank you. With how hairy that one is, my guess is that they can't get laid because bestiality is illegal. Wow.
Damn.
Oh, how hairy they both are, man. Somebody pointed out in chat, yeah, one of them needs to shave their fucking shoulders. What did I did? I did a monkey in the morning, because I always do. Oh, and I did a game stream. I went 4 hours on my game stream, where I moved into a whole new house, you guys. Well, Scribbles, I just moved into a new house, and then I realized the way they built it, I was going to fix up this barn farm thing that I found. It would be perfect for a renovation project.
Mm-hmm.
But the way the game works, it works in blocks. You build things in blocks, but there's like these half blocks you can make, so you can make things look different. They built all of the walls in half blocks, so I can't put anything up against it. Anything that I tried hanging on the wall would actually have a gap between it. So I would have had to rebuild the entire thing. And like, yeah, fuck that. I don't have the time for that. So I just went and moved into a new home, and I'm getting my base ready for Horde Night, which is coming up soon. Satsu, are we playing? We're not playing tonight, are we? Are we? No. Okay, so I will probably play. I don't know. Should I play right after this and then do Monkey in the morning, and then do Monkey in the morning and then play? I think I'll do Monkey in the morning first, and then we'll play. So maybe around 1 o'clock, I'll be playing some more 7 Days to Die over there on Ranting Monkey Games. Should be linked below. I don't know if it is or not. Humpetry. It is hump day, you guys, so get the good humpetry on the hump day. Satsu, what you been humping?
What I've been humping. Let's see here. I didn't see a lot of stuff today, so it's probably just going to be a couple things. Let me go over to the book face. This happens to be the popular site. So I think Idris Elba is trying to get back in people's good graces because he has come out with a full frontal assault for free speech.
Oh my God.
Yes, he says we should allow people to say what they want. He spoke out against censorship with movies, particularly the cancellation of movies that depict slavery and stuff. He just said that he thinks it's ridiculous for people to to attempt to try to erase that or get rid of it. Like it doesn't solve or fix anything to do that. And he said, as a storyteller and as a person who spends a lot of time with storytellers, he doesn't think that censorship is helpful at all. So good man. But my comment was, careful, dude, you're becoming the wrong type of Negro. And I said, good Negroes know to shut the hell up unless they are saying what they're being told to. And you're not allowed to defend free speech, and you know this. So hopefully he sees this and saves himself from the horrible fate he could be facing by defending the right-winged alt-right concept of free speech. Because that's what it is now, apparently. Oh, you know what else I did? I'm sorry, I forgot to mention this for YouTube time because I didn't actually make a video, but I did practice for a video. The fluffy omelet that I was trying to do, I made one today, and that shit came out perfectly. It is a weird sensation to eat something that you've eaten your entire life and then eat it again, but the texture is 100% different.
Oh yeah.
It actually comes out like it looks like a pancake, like a big puffy pancake. But it still tastes like eggs, which is like weird. It's good. I like it. And it's a little sweet because you have to add a little sugar to the egg whites to fluff it up a bit. I liked it. I enjoyed it. But I've been practicing doing the eggs so I can do stuff like cheesecake and pancakes and other stuff. But eggs is basically where you start. You know, that's like the starting point to how to figure out how to do this type of stuff correctly. So that was another thing that I did today that I posted. Let's see. I think that was it over on the Facebook. Let's see what happened on Twitter. There was the people getting hacked, which was pretty funny. And a lot of people, a lot of other blue check marks were like putting up their own fake ones to be funny because they thought that these people were actually trying to scam people until they found out that it was a hack. This one's really stupid, but this is my kind of humor. This chick says, my son came and got me saying that there was a serious leak under the kitchen. And it's literally just a leak sitting under the sink with an angry face on it. And I don't know why, but every time I see shit like that, it makes me laugh unreasonably hard. And I'm just like, something might be wrong with me. Because that is fucking hilarious to me. And I can't figure out why. What else did I see today? There wasn't much. Let me go back to my actual page here. Somebody actually took photos of Justin Trudeau and classified him as all the classes from Final Fantasy 14. And it is scary how much these pictures line up. I didn't tag anybody in it, but I shared it over on my page. So if you've played Final Fantasy 14, you need to check that out. And lastly, that video that I showed you guys of that fight that was happening when that dude like jumped and kicked that little girl in the face. Oh yeah. Apparently his mom came out to defend him, saying that he would never do such a thing like that.
But he did.
Well, it was an accident. He was trying to jump over her, and you can tell he was, because after he jumped over her and accidentally kicked her, he immediately started beating the shit out of her mom. And I guess the point there was like, well, if he really wanted to kick the kid's ass, then he wouldn't have just drop kicked her. He would have stomped her too. But no, he went to go kick her mom's ass instead. So see, it was an accident. It's in it. My son would never do that. He beat the shit out of a woman, but he'd never kick a child. Just like, well, thanks for letting us know. I feel so much better now that you've provided me with this information.
I've watched that several times. Because it could be he accidentally kicked the kid, but with the way he comes down on that kid and then the way he goes and kicks the woman, I mean, that was an intentional kick.
Well, here's the thing.
And he was way too far off to be even aiming for the mom.
It didn't look like he was trying to kick the kid, but it didn't look like he cared when he did. You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. Like, it looked like, from my perspective, it looked like it was an accident, but it looked like one of those things where you're like, oh shit, this is the wrong person, but fuck it. Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
Like,
I can see that. Oh, that was an accident. Like, oh, I really didn't mean to do that. He didn't check on the kid or nothing. He was just like, oops, didn't mean to do this, but I don't give a fuck. It ain't my kid. That's what it seemed like to me. But yeah, that I just thought that post was funny. She's just like, my son would never do something so terrible. He'd stump the shit out of a woman, but no, he wouldn't kick a kid. That's just ridiculous. Like, oh, okay, well, good thing to know he has his priorities straight. But yeah, that's all the stuff.
All right, we got 2 birthdays. Check your logic. It's your birthday. And around here, we do this. This one's for you. And a 1. And a 2. Happy birthday to you.
I heal in Final Fantasy 14.
Happy birthday to you.
Tanking is literally the only thing I don't do.
Happy birthday, dear. Check your logic.
Happy birthday, by the way.
Happy birthday to you. Thank you, Zach Osborne. I'll get that in just a second. But check your logic. I hope you had a wonderful birthday. And this time I knew exactly what name I was saying. Is Stacy here? Stacy, you better have your ass here. But Zach, thank you so much. So the 12 women in the freezer thing was a fake news article. They got me. Fake satire sites should be required to disclose that somewhere on the page.
Like I say, some do. It's sometimes buried elsewhere. But like I say, whenever you see something that crazy, always try to find a secondary and mainstream source, because a story that big would have more than one source for it.
Yeah.
Satsu, you got that kicking video?
Yeah, why?
People in chat were asking for it. Any chance you could throw it in chat for him?
Got it.
Okay, and Stacy Gardner. You've been with us a long, long time. Stacy, it's your birthday. This one's for you. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, dear Stacy Gardner.
Happy birthday, Daisy.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Stacy. I hope you had a good one as well. And Hazmat asks, hey, Monk, what does simp mean? It depends on which definition you're looking at. If you're called a simp online, these days they're calling you a sucker idolizing mediocre pussy. Simp. Scribbles, what you got for the Humpetry today?
I have only 2 things. One's a bit of a longer one, so I'll take most of my time for that. But the first one was my most popular tweet of the day. A lady named Amy Syke, I think. I don't know how to say the last name, but she posted a picture of apparently what some restaurant put on their restroom doors to denote the men's and women's restrooms. There's a sign that says guys, and it has a slice of pizza smiling at you with eyeballs. And then there's one that says girls with a slice of pizza smiling at you with eyeballs, but with arms waving at you. And she says, people rarely note this, but one of the biggest advantages to being a girl is having arms. And in response, I said, well, how else are you going to make me a sandwich?
Ooh.
And that was my most popular tweet of the day. But what I wanted to read.
Real quick, before you do, I just want to tell you, I don't have very much of anything, so take as much time as you need on this one, my friend.
Okay. Well, so there's a story from the Washington Post that came out today that just looked absolutely perfect. And I wanted to read some of it, probably not the whole thing. It goes on a while, but I wanted to at least get it in. I haven't read it yet. I just saw the headline and the little tag they had in the tweet. I just had to read it. And the title is Stumbling Toward Wokeness.
Oh, God.
Tulsa, Oklahoma. The text messages were flying in to Christine Tell's cell phone. They were coming from a group of friends who taught with her at preschool inside the Methodist chapel near the green fields of the University of Tulsa. Quote, a woman on our Facebook post is claiming we are a whites-only school, unquote, one wrote about the interaction on Facebook. Quote, someone tell me what I'm missing, unquote. When Tell, that's her last name, Tell, when Tell looked at the post, she knew exactly what was missing. Photos of black and brown students. All of the smiling children featured on the school's post were white. which the teachers insisted was a coincidence. Quote, so far from the truth, unquote, one responded, noting some of the children in the post were Hispanic. This pisses me off, said another. Dumb, said a third. When Tell looked at the post, I skipped the wrong paragraph. Tell tried to figure out the right way to contribute to the conversation. Ever since she watched a video of a police officer digging his knee into the neck of George Floyd, she had pledged to become a better white person. Even though she lived hundreds of miles from the street corner in Minneapolis where the police pinned Floyd to the ground, Tell felt complicit in his death. She has convicted herself, and white people just like her, of a lack of concern about racism in America, shaping a country in which black men could be killed in such a disturbing and public way. Quote, I always thought I was the type of person who would do the right thing, and this summer I realized it was not true, unquote. Tell, a 36-year-old mother of two, said later in an interview, quote, I was walking around oblivious to the concerns of the black community. No, not oblivious. It was like I could see their problems, but I couldn't see their problems, unquote, unquote. She wanted to be an anti-racist, although she was still trying to figure out what that meant. It was a messy process, stumbling towards wokeness, in which she would learn the limits and frustrations of trying to dismantle structural racism. Tell was among the throngs of white people across the country re-examining their role in America's racial dilemma. Books about anti-racism have been flying off the shelves, and the Black Lives Matter protest movement has gained newfound support in all crevices and corners of the country. Social justice groups were seeing waves of new white supporters who, while awash in feelings of anger, guilt, and shame, were eager to find some semblance of activism and absolution.
And it is a brilliant business plan.
Oh, you're not kidding.
And
Quote, oh, sorry.
Satsu, you could probably sell her a guilt pass.
Probably.
Quote, they all want to know what they should do, unquote, said David Harland of Aware Tulsa. It is part of a rapidly expanding national network of organizations called Showing Up for Racial Justice, or SURJ, formed to formed to help white people learn how to support the Black Lives Matter movement.
Oh, dear Christ.
So basically, guys, they are BLM simps. Harlan gives this advice. Amplify the concerns of black voices because this time is not about you. Educate yourself on the history of systemic racism. Most of all, have awkward, delicate conversations about race with friends and family. Quote, white anger is not the same thing as black anger, unquote, Harlan said. Quote, it does not come from the same place. It resolves itself in a different way, unquote. In the text exchange, Karen Cody, the school's executive director, at first became defensive at the stranger's accusation. Quote, this year we were very white heavy, but I didn't control who enrolls, Cody wrote to the group. I don't get my feelings hurt ever, but this hurt my feelings, unquote. The angry texts continued. Tell tried to figure out how to shift the conversation from their feelings. This was an opportunity to have the awkward conversation about diversity. She didn't want to ruin her chance. Quote, I always thought I was the type of person who would do the right thing, and this summer I realized it was not true. You already quoted her on that same thing earlier. You already told, oh, maybe that's okay. So I copied the text of this. That might be the subheading to a picture that just popped in there.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Her friends called her Chrissy, but she was nervous about being a Karen, internet speak for a privileged, self-righteous white woman. Quote, even though I thought racism was the dumbest thing ever, I keep thinking about how racism lived in me, Tell said. Quote, I don't know how it became so ingrained, unquote.
Because you're racist.
She had made racist jokes to her friends and mocked black women's hairstyles. She remembered the time she locked her car doors when she saw a black person pass, and when she imagined her English professor, a black woman, as a criminal when she saw her put on a hoodie. Well, congratulations.
You're racist.
You're racist.
Yeah, like, oh my God. Jeez.
Tell remembered a time when she ignored the racist rant of an in-law who spat epithets while watching a basketball game. Instead of questioning his words, she was more concerned about who might hear him because the front door was open. She joined a local political organization in 2017 in search of camaraderie with other Democrats in a state in which Trump won 65% of the vote. She wanted to talk about the new president threatening women's rights. Others kept talking about race. Through the group, she learned about the Tulsa Race Massacre, which was not often discussed in the segregated part of the city where she lived. She became aware of the coded language of using, quote, North Tulsa, unquote, to mean the black neighborhoods. She learned about the highway system that segregated the two sides, the lack of grocery stores on the black side, and the 12-year difference in life expectancy between the communities. We got a super chat.
Thank you, Hazmat, who says, thank you, Dr. Pepper.
What?
I don't know.
I don't know either. What? Tell had seen those issues as someone else's problem. Floyd's death snapped her out of it. She couldn't get past his cries for his mother, the seeming nonchalance of the officer ignoring pleas for mercy. She could no longer ignore the demands of black people taking to the streets again to assert their lives' value and the seemingly glacial pace at which the killings of Ahmaud Arbery and Breonna Taylor were being investigated. She took faith in the anti-racist evangelism she encountered in memes and videos streaming on social media during this time of pandemic-imposed isolation. Quote, if you ever wondered what you'd do during slavery, the Holocaust, or the Civil Rights Movement, you're doing it right now, capital letters, read one meme. Quote, I'd have been the northern white woman that didn't agree with Jim Crow, but didn't even try to do anything until I saw little girls getting blown up at a church or Emmett Till's mother at his funeral, Tell said. She considered it, quote, a shocking and disappointing revelation about myself. It completely shifted my lens, unquote. Tell wanted to reach out to her black friends, but she realized she didn't have any close ones. And recalling a tweet.
Racist.
Yeah, I know, a little odd for somebody who thought. Yeah, anyway. And recalling a tweet from writer, I'm going to mispronounce his name, Ijeoma Ohio, about the emotional toll this moment can have on African Americans. She felt now wasn't the time to make one, as in make a friend. Quote, don't make us swim through your tears while we fight, the tweet said. Allies, now is the time to be in the service of black liberation.
In the service, eh?
Limit your response to what... Wait, okay, this is the tweet. Okay. Limit your response to what is of real, tangible help to us. Give money, call your reps, protect black people at protests, elevate our work and voices. Don't make us swim through your white tears while we fight.
Did you pay attention to the order of that tweet?
Yeah. Tell was nervous about joining protesters on the street. She didn't want to risk exposure to the coronavirus, but she watched Ava DuVernay's film on mass incarceration, 13th, which is full of lies, and purchased the audiobook version of Robin DiAngelo's White Fertility. She listened to podcasts and took in more memes. On May 30th, for the first time, she posted Black Lives Matter on her Facebook page. And then, for the first time, she argued with her cousin, Matt Willis, who figured Tell was falling for a liberal attempt to exploit racial tensions to unseat the president. Quote, so do white and brown lives, Willis responded. All lives matter. Protesters and police, that's a caption again. Facebook friends seized on the comment, leading to a heated back and forth about police brutality and defunding the police. Eventually, Willis deleted his comment and stopped following his cousin on Facebook. Quote, somehow because I say all lives matter, they think I'm racist, Willis said in an interview. It will take a lot to get people to see your point of view nowadays. Emotions are too hot right now, unquote. Still, Tell had hoped the conversation would resonate with him one day, even if it did not right now. Quote, doing this is exhausting, Tell said. Quote, but that's a stupid thing to think because black people have to deal with this every day. That's exhausting. Even though I thought racism was... that's another... comment there. A few days after she posted her Black Lives Matter message to her Facebook page, Tell saw a friend post a frightening statement on social media. Quote, I am very scared, unquote. The friend was horrified to see a picture of her husband, a white police officer, listed in a Facebook group called Oklahoma Bad Cops. A bad cop? Tell figured there must be a misunderstanding. She sifted through the comments and discovered the officer's indiscretion. He had clicked the laughing emoji on an illustration of a car running over protesters. All lives splatter, the image read. Tell agreed the message was in poor taste, but was it worth his being publicly shamed? She wanted to try a new strategy of being the bridge between both sides. Quote, I know this man, Tell commented on Oklahoma Bad Cops. He is a good man with a beautiful family you frightened. If you're just recklessly calling people bad cops, you are being dangerously irresponsible and bringing violence on people that don't deserve it, unquote. Quote, respectability doesn't deter racism, one person responded. Said another, quote, black people deal with the same fear and worry about police officers harming their family every day. Quote, you are the epitome of the All Lives Matter movement, wrote a third. Quit arguing for racism. Now it was Tell who was offended. She didn't want to be mistaken for a Karen. She tried to get them to understand her perspective, admitting that she had been preoccupied with jobs and raising children before the novel coronavirus and was still learning and gaining perspectives and changing. She believed the officer, too, was, quote, capable of self-reflection, unquote. A text message popped up on her phone. It was from the officer. Quote, thank you for coming to my defense, he wrote, but his words stung. Tell didn't want to be in a position where she was defending police officers mocking protesters, but she didn't want to feel as though white people couldn't get a second chance. She had tried to meet two sides in the middle and ended up being compromised on both ends.
Compromised?
Oh, hold on. This is important, Monkey. Please, let me finish. Finally, Tell concluded the people on the side who called her out were right. She had done what all the lessons had instructed her not to, center the conversations around the feelings of white people. Quote, the threat to my friend's family was perceived, she said, but as an officer, he was actually threatening them. Her best chance to influence her white friends was at her preschool. The woman whose comments started all the angst over the diversity of the school wasn't affiliated with the school. Anahi Franco, an immigrant from Mexico and a mother of a 3-year-old, stumbled on the photo while looking at different preschools in the area. Quote, when you see a school that looks like that, you can't let it pass, Franco, a 36-year-old Grand Canyon University psychology graduate student focusing on diversity issues, said in an interview. Quote, you have to challenge it, unquote. In the text exchange, Tell tried to get her colleagues to understand Franco's perspective. Quote, I wonder if there are ways to make us more appealing to a diverse crowd, Tell wrote. Quote, Chrissy, I've wondered that as well, unquote. Cody, the executive director, replied, quote, I truly have, unquote. Weeks later, Tell and Cody got together to discuss diversity. They were joined at their preschool by another good friend and teacher named Katie Columbin. The three women felt the pictures didn't actually show how diverse the school was. Of the 45 students enrolled in the school this year, at least 9 had one parent of color, according to their tally. Okay, I'm trying, guys. Cody had chosen the pictures because they were the children of parents who worked at the school. It was easier to get permission from them. She then posted new photos of children with darker skin, but she knew those changes were insufficient. Only 3 of the school's students were African American. Quote, how many black baby dolls do we have? She asked. We need to get some black baby dolls.
Oh, man.
Get black baby dolls. Racism's ended.
Quote, oh, I didn't think about that, said Columbin, the other teacher. Quote, we have none, but that wasn't intentional. 99% of those toys are donated, unquote. Tell suggested the fact that all the toys were the same race by happenstance was an idea worth thinking about. Quote, I think part of our responsibility as white people is to reflect back on our own experiences and what ways we have unconsciously chosen the white baby doll, Tell said.
Oh my God.
Cody told the other teachers that the Floyd video moved her to want to do her part to bring unity to this country. Cody said she had spent her adult life trying not to pay attention to skin color because she didn't want anyone to be judged by their race. And now she could not stop paying attention to a person's skin color and the injustice it might bring. Quote, when I'm driving down the street and there's a black man walking down the street, bam, I look and go, oh, wow, okay, he might be next, unquote. So she wanted to do more.
I hope she gets carjacked.
Get your super chat.
Thank you, Shrouded Angel. This is so stupid. Oh, I'm saving all kinds of things.
Okay, there's still like 2 pages left. Do you want me to keep going or just I can stop here?
Let's wrap up here because we're already into
Okay.
But correct me if I'm wrong. At the beginning of this article,
Yes.
She said the George Floyd thing moved her.
Yes.
And she's been frustrated at her inability to dismantle systemic racism.
Yes.
In 2 months.
Yes.
Okay, Frosted, thank you. They want their 40 acres and a doll.
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie. The more and more you read that story, the more energy was just being sucked out of my body. Like that, they used the word exhausting before.
Yeah.
Like I have never been. Look, I've been black my entire life, and that is the most exhausted I've ever been listening to that fucking story. Jesus fuck.
Look, from the sound of it, she was a racist.
Yeah.
I pictured my English teacher as a criminal in a hoodie. Bitch, yeah, you had problems, but that doesn't mean everybody else has problems. And I don't know if I should bring this up. The one that was going around the all lives splatter thing, that was the incident where a black man ran over a white chick in the middle of the road.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to point that out. Should the cop have laughed at it? Probably not with his position or liked it. But in his position, but it's funny. It's horrible, but it's funny. And yeah, we'll just get some little black dolls and solve racism.
I didn't know where that was going. I hadn't read that. So that was my first time going through it. That was just incredible.
And the guy who's sitting says she still sounds like a racist. By the way, guys, questions, comments, concerns, throw them in the chat now. We'll get to them in just a second. And that gives you guys time to get some in there.
She literally said she looked at a black, like, okay, instead of being the type of person who looked at a black person was like, oh shit, he's gonna rob me. She said she shifted from that to, oh, he's probably gonna die next. And I'm just like, holy fuck. You transferred from one racist to a completely different kind of racist.
Well, she said that she didn't used to notice color, but now that's all she notices. I'm like,
yeah.
One, you did notice race because you told us about it earlier, you lying bitch. But going to where that's all you notice, being hyper focused on race, doesn't make you not a racist.
Yeah. But that's what is constantly being said that has to happen. There was a Ramen D'Angelo video I did where she was with some speaker and a speaker who was black, and somebody in the audience said, but I believe in colorblindness. I don't see race. And the speaker says, if you don't see race, then you don't see me.
Yes.
And it's like I said, racial identitarianism. It's coming back, and it's supposed to be virtuous. And it's amazing that people think that.
When I say I'm colorblind, it does not mean I can't tell Satsu's black and Scribe's white. It just means I don't treat either of them differently because of that skin color I can see.
Right. And that sounds like a reasonable explanation when you say it like that, but there is a rebuttal. There is a rebuttal to that. But that's the problem. You should treat them the same because they're not the same. They're different, Monkey.
Yeah.
They're different. And you're supposed to treat them different based on their skin color. You're supposed to.
Which is racist.
You're supposed to, Monkey.
Cannibalistic asks, we ever do a TED Talk stream together? We've talked about it. It's just a matter of timing and subject. It's not like Scribe has banned us from there.
No, and like I say, I'm going to try to arrange something with one or both of these guys soon if I can.
Dirt Runner has a very good idea for you, Satsu. Will you release a cookbook with your favorite recipes and goofy ones like game anime inspired names? Bread or Spank Me Harder, Scribe sauce, that kind of stuff. Monkey bread or Spank Me Harder, Scribe. Sorry. I always skip my name if I see it in the question. No, you should do that, man. If you come up with enough anime ones you could do together, you could make an anime cookbook.
That'd be hilarious.
Or game cookbook.
Yeah, name them like different stuff. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. Did you know that since today's my birthday, that means there are 111 nights until the election? I didn't know that because it was your birthday. I knew that because of Sarah Gideon up there in Maine. She won the Democratic primary last night, so she will be running against Susan Collins. And they just happened to put 111 days to Election Day. Oh, Lords, would you try a chicken seasoned with black pepper, lemon, and melted salted butter, a side of colorful French fries, and a Garfield-shaped glass of lemon Pepsi?
Basically just said lemon pepper chicken, which I just made like a couple nights ago. It's delicious.
I'm going to say yes, although the lemon Pepsi, I don't know if I'd like that.
Yeah, I've actually had I think I've had lemon Pepsi or Pepsi with lemon in it, and it's not very good. I don't like it. I don't like Pepsi generally, but that's all I had one day.
Moonshock asks, can you provide a link to that Portland stream you're always talking about on Monkey in the Morning, the one with Arix? Yeah, are they? Oh, they're not streaming right now, so hang on. I'm grabbing the link. Looks like they're down right now. They're usually up 24/7, so I don't know why they're off, but there you go. What's next here? Is it against YouTube in terms of service to use text-to-speech engine to read video scripts? No.
Not that I know of, no.
There's a lot of tutorial videos that show you how to do things. Like occasionally there'll be a video game that has a little glitch in it, and you go look up how to do it. And if you go watch the video on how to do it, it's all in text-to-speech.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. As far as I know, there's nothing against that. Long overdue, but on your gaming streams, what does the exclamation point boss mean, Satsu?
Those are games that you can play in the chat to get you points that you use towards the raffles that we do. So if you guys are ever there for the raffles and you're hearing about people buying tickets to win a game, those games are tied to that. That's where the points come to purchase the tickets. So
yeah, you'll get chimp change just by watching, but you can get more by participating in the boss fights.
All right.
Whether there's boss, there's arena. What's the other one?
You can challenge another person directly, and then there's heists.
Heists. That's the other one.
Yeah.
Banana with or without the shell? Without, thank you.
I don't like bananas, but yeah, no shell. They don't have a shell. They have a peel.
Peel.
Yeah.
Do you usually take the wrappers off your burgers before you eat them?
Yeah.
I've never been so hungry that I just bit through the wrapper. I got time to peel that bitch.
Like, do you peel your burger before you eat it?
I think Eyes On doesn't have a 24-hour stream, just saying. Well, let me put it this way. Every time I've ever been on and ask around, I'm on a lot. Eyes On has been on. That's what I'm going by. Where was that? Where are we at here? A bundle of Far Cry games are on sale for just under $21 with 1, 2, 3, Blood Dragon, 4, and Primal. Is it worth the buy? Yes.
Absolutely. Hell
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure. And you can play all of them except Primal.
If you play them, though, I would recommend playing them in order because once you go to like 3, you can't go back to 1.
Yeah.
Yeah, no kidding. And I don't know if it still is, but New Dawn was on sale for $10 the other day.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. They're having a sale. They've been having the that came out after the summer sale was.
Yeah.
All the things. So
it's probably coinciding with the announcement of Far Cry 6 too.
Yes. Oh, thank you, Corey. I accidentally eaten a fortune cookie with the fortune still inside. Did you notice and pull it out, or did you just keep chomping that bitch?
Yeah, did you YOLO that shit? Like, all right, well, we're here.
What's done is done.
Fucking finish it.
Let's see. Would y'all try something weird with a side of something strange and a funky glass of crazy concoction? Depends on what it is. Gentlemen, what about you?
What was the question?
Yeah, sorry.
Would you try something weird with a side of something strange and a funky glass of crazy concoction?
Is that like the template for a modest question?
I think it is. Lords of the Night, did you see Markiplier's latest 7 Days to Die video, which proves he and his friends have no idea what they're doing? No.
Oh, they They're quite bad at that game, but it is kind of funny watching somebody flail through that game with no sense of direction or purpose at all. Because we play it relatively seriously. So I find it entertaining to see people so unbelievably oblivious to everything that's happening. It's kind of fascinating.
Well, I've mentioned this before. For me, if I'm going to watch a game stream, I'm watching one of two things. Either I'm going to watch the best of the best, which is never why you come watch me play, or I'm going to watch somebody that I know has a decent chance of failure.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a third group who is like kind of good, but at least their commentary keeps me like Cage. I watch him because he's actually really good. He's not perfect, but he's good, and his commentary keeps me engaged. But mostly, I do like watching people fail at video games. It's kind of fun, especially if they're worse than I am, because then I can sit there and judge them. You know,
dude, they were fighting the Horde one night. I was watching them play, and what they were doing was just standing at a completely unblocked or unbarricaded door, opening it, killing a zombie, and then closing it. Open it, kill a zombie, and then close it. I was just like, what the fuck is going on?
Nice. Did y'all see that many Japanese government officials are saying that SJWs are the enemy as they are starting to attack weeb culture? Don't fuck with the Japanese, man. They're not going to put up with your shit. Like, this is what we make. Like it or don't.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't changing it because a bunch of ignorant ass white people got all up their own asses about it. Does anyone else eat the whole peanut in the shell, or am I the weirdo? You're the weirdo.
Sometimes I do.
What?
Sometimes I do.
That's just nasty. How can you eat this? Like eating wood.
I don't know. It's the saltiness that gets me, because like the peanuts themselves aren't really salty, but sometimes I need that extra saltiness, so I'll do it sometimes.
Okay, in that case, I mean, I'll put them in my mouth and I'll suck on them to get the salt off, and then they get nice and soggy, so you can break the peanut out easy. But I don't eat the shell. That's nasty.
Yeah, I've done it a few times. Also used to eat sunflower seeds, like the shells of those too. Do not do that. It is very bad for your body.
There you go. Markiplier is a fucking moron who acts like a child to appease his childish throng. He defines a soy gamer. YouTube, I didn't say that. That's a comment I'm reading.
But he is rich as fuck. So
yeah. Look, he knows his audience. I mean, that's part of the game, right?
Dude, if I made as much as Markiplier would be, I would be fucking Markiplier 2.0.
Mm-hmm. Lords, would you try a T-bone steak with mashed potatoes and a side of either salad or fries? Too normal? Way too normal, and hell yeah.
But to say, is there a human being in here that isn't like a vegetarian or vegan that wouldn't?
I'm gonna switch out that mashed potato with the salad and fries. I'm not a big mashed potatoes and baked potatoes are really popular in my family, but not with me. I prefer French fries. It's just who I am. Devil Fruit says, I like Markiplier. Lots of people like Markiplier.
Yeah, I like it. I watch him all the time. I watch his mainly when I'm watching Markiplier, though. I watch his 3 Scary Games series. That's like the main thing that I watch of his.
Oh, Lords, for $1 million, would you sing the Ultramarines chant? For $1 million, not only would I sing it, I would learn it and sing it. For $1 million. Fuck yeah. I don't think there's anything I wouldn't sing for $1 million.
Yeah, give me any song, and I will sing it for $1 million.
Snumber, thank you so much. Who says Mark defended PewDiePie, cut some slack. Well, look, I understand people who watch like Markiplier and go, okay, he's just a little too kiddie for me.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that's people's opinions. That's why I'm not saying like you're wrong. Fuck you. I'm just like, yeah, if you don't like them, that's fine. I like them.
Yeah, you don't gotta like what I like.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever watched the guy except in like some scandal videos or something where he's apologizing for something or talking about something that happened on the internet. That's about it.
Yeah, that's all I had seen until I heard he'd done the 7 Days to Die. Oh my God, excuse me. I'm so sorry. But I'd seen he'd done the 7 Days to Die. Goodness. Apparently I can't say that.
Okay.
He did those videos and being a fan and really hoping that the game gets some more love and people go out there and buy it because I hope it gets supported.
Mhm.
I went over there and watched some of them. Yeah, he's absolutely horrible at the game.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's going to be entertaining about it. It's like watching a Dark Side Phil play a game because he just like, oh my god, he's bad.
His group is like Neeb Gaming's, only they're all Simon.
I don't know what that means. So, yeah.
Gamers do, or well, people who watch Neebs absolutely know what that means.
Oh, okay.
Simon is he's my spirit animal. He is the YOLO of the group. He has no idea what he's doing, but he's going to go do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you end up with planes driven off of docks.
Hmm.
Did y'all know France consumes more anime than America? Well, they're French. Of course they do. They're weird.
How dare you?
Did you see the body cam footage released of the female officer putting 9 rounds into a guy? No.
Whoa, no.
No, if you got it and can send it to me on Twitter, I'd watch it. Well, I'd actually look up the case, see if there's some controversy, and then watch it. Which remake would you like better, Resident Evil 2 or 3? Or did you like better?
Oh.
No, did you like? I'm sorry, I read it wrong.
Oh, okay. I like 2 significantly better than 3. They both were very different from the original, but 2 stuck a little bit more to what made 2 good. 3 is just a remake of 3. Like there's very little to nothing in that game outside of the dodge mechanic that people enjoy that they did back then. You know what I mean? They just kind of went for making a new game as opposed to 2 being kind of a love letter to everybody who liked 2. So I didn't hate 3. It just wasn't 2. So there you go.
All right. Oh lords, Kool-Aid jellies, soda jellies, or Cleveland jellies? Oh, I missed a question there too. I gotta make sure I get that.
Cleveland jelly.
I don't know what the hell those are.
That sounds like a trick question, that last one.
Are we talking about jelly beans?
I don't know.
I don't know. I do like soda flavored candy though. Like I'm not big on like soda or pop anymore, but candy that tastes like it, I'm like, all right, I'm down.
Evil Ferret asks if I'm gaming tonight, so they never get the notification by YouTube, so I have to keep an eye out for it, is why I'm asking. I am. I'm probably going to do a Monkey in the Morning right after this, and then a gaming stream right after that. So look for it around 1:30, 2 o'clock-ish. No promises. But again, guys, the easiest way to find out if we go live, and I know some of you don't have Twitter, but Twitter is the easiest way to know. Because, yeah, YouTube won't tell you, but I always tweet that out when I go live. Are all humans sheep in some regard?
I think every human has the capacity to do what they see other people do, whether they know or not, you know?
Yeah.
I don't think all human beings are sheep as far as behaviorally by nature, but it's just kind of a human thing to mimic what you see, considering the fact that I ain't never seen a baby that died from not being able to breathe.
We are all of us driven by self-interest of one form or another. If someone can harness those self-interests to attract people towards their own ends while still feeling like you're doing what you need to do for yourself, you can be fooled fairly easily into becoming a sheep. So we all, to some extent, are sheep if our interests align with someone else that we're willing to basically submit to in certain extents.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to be a good businessman and you're doing so by following good business practices, somebody made those practices. So by following them, I guess technically you would be a sheep.
I mean, there's of course, there's the brainlessness. If you're doing it without thought, if you're doing it without any critical thinking, I think I'd classify that person more as sheep than someone that just like, oh, I can take some good advice and put it to my own self-interest. That's different. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'd agree with the gentleman said here. I think a lot of people get classified as sheep even when they're not actually.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's like, well, you obviously didn't think about it. You're just a sheep or a bot. We get that a lot these days.
Russian.
Yeah, you're a Russian bot. Yeah, that's what I am. I think there's a lot of sheep out there, of course. A lot of people who don't think much. You know, I saw a thing today. I was reading the new Quinny Ipiak, whatever poll. And it's again not good news for the president. But I was looking at the number of people who said that they are following the election really closely. And it's in the 60%. It's like 64, 65%.
Mm.
And I'm just like, bullshit. There's no way you can have a favorable opinion of Joe Biden and be watching the election.
Yeah, there's that too.
You can't have an opinion on the man very much.
Everything.
Yeah. That's not to say you have a negative opinion of him, but you can't be like, yeah, I support everything he supports. Like, how? The man doesn't. He's hidden.
Dude, I saw a post on Facebook the other day of somebody was like, because Kanye was talking about running or whatever. I think he's actually backed out since then.
Backed out, yes.
Yeah. But they were saying like, why? Well, give me one good reason why we shouldn't vote for Kanye. And dude's like, because Kanye's fucking mentally crazy. There's something completely wrong with him. And I'm like, okay, you might be correct in stating that, but as a defense, if voting for Kanye because he's insane is wrong, then voting for Biden is just as stupid, I would think. And
probably just as wrong, yeah.
And he was like, oh, you must really be into a bunch of right-wing conspiracy theories if you think that man is insane. And I'm like, I've literally watched him speak. I don't need to engage in any right-wing conspiracy theories. I just need to listen to him talk.
Yeah.
What the fuck have you been listening to?
They're not, and that's the thing. That's what I'm talking about. When I see that, it's like, no way you're doing that. This is sheepish behavior because they're not letting him speak.
Yeah. He ain't got shit to say.
Nut says Simon is great, and then Enziker says, I don't know if I could watch an all Simon playthrough. One of the great things about Simon is that the others do know what they're doing, and while they have a great time at it, Simon is just like Simon fucks up all the time, and that's my favorite thing about him. While the others are, silly and trying to get shit done, he's just like YOLO and fucks everything up. A whole group of that actually does still kind of work because they get a little bit done. They know just a little bit, and then like Satsu said, then they're opening and closing doors to kill zombies. Have you heard there are people who eat licorice and olives at the same time? That sounds disgusting. Is it black licorice or they like the strawberry flavor? Oh, anyway. Oh, Lords, any of you planning to play Amnesia Rebirth? Never heard of it.
Oh, no, I don't like Amnesia. I didn't really like watch people playing it too, because that game, those type of horror games capitalize on anxiety, and that is my kryptonite. So
there you go.
No, thank you.
Mata says jellies are in fact jelly beans, and I would go with the Kool-Aid on that. Monk, did you know your last Monkey in the Morning is stuck at 2 hours instead of the full length? Been trying all day to get the full stream. Sometimes it takes longer than others. There's nothing I can do about it. It's YouTube rendering the video. They'll only render the last 2 hours if you don't catch it live. So, yeah. Sorry about that. Oh, Lords, which is funnier, Scribe dressed up as a Katachan jungle fighter or Monk dressed as Dr. Lovelace from Wild Wild West? Zeo Gold, you ask me things I can't answer. I don't know what those things are. Well, I know Wild Wild West, but
Dr. Lovelace, who has no legs.
Yeah, he's the Spider-Man.
Yes.
If Elon Musk lands on Mars, would they claim for America, or could he claim it as its own nation? And can an earthbound nation keep a self-sufficient colony on Mars?
So far as I know, legally speaking, he could not claim it as his own. It's been deemed a international concern. Now,
the whole world owns it.
Yeah. Up until the point we actually start colonizing and mining it and speccing it out for mineral rights and stuff, I'm sure things will change, but otherwise it's all kind of hypothetical at this point.
And no, we don't have enough stuff to go up there and keep a. Well, I mean, it would have to be a very small, self-sufficient colony.
Yes, and that's why we have to start now. That's why I'm running on a platform of Moonbase for 2020. So vote Scribe. What was my tagline again? I forget.
Monkey's a better candidate.
No, it was something ridiculous from the other day. I forget what it is now, but it was funny. I'm not a something science. I'm not a cow scientist. Was that it? Yeah, that's what I was. I'm not a cow scientist.
Thank you, Uncle Ira, who says no Twitter, Monk. Fair enough. Eaton County, Michigan. Perp was Sean Ruiz. Charged the officer with knives in hand, and she put 9 in him. Daily Mail has vid. I'll check it out. Thank you so much. Thanks. With that, ladies and gentlemen, it is 11 o'clock. It is time for us to wrap up and say goodbye. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so very much for the donations. You're very, very generous, and I really do appreciate it. Scribbles, got something coming up?
I'm hoping to do a TEDx tomorrow. I will let you guys know in the wonderful world of Twitter as things develop.
Satsu, you got anything?
Nope. Just working on some stuff behind the scenes is all.
All right. Pleasure as always, gentlemen. Everyone enjoy your night. We will see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye. And, your lives make us sad or something.
Dude, that's my song at the end.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing now.
We've had this discussion.
I thought you just sang about your dick.
A Monkey in the Morning I sang about my dick. On this one.
Oh, I got mixed up. I'm sorry. I was expecting the dick song, not the Your Lives Make Us Sad song.
Satsu, you remember this conversation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Bye, guys.
You all heard it.
Your lives